Evidence for lawsuit filed at the U.S. Courthouse in Washington, D.C. Civil Action 92-0449. John St Clair Akwei, Akwei spelled A-K-W-E-I, versus NSA Fort George G. Meade, M.D., Meade spelled M-E-A-D-E. My knowledge of the National Security Agency structure, national security activities, proprietary technology, and covert operations to monitor individual citizens. The NSA's mission and NSA's domestic intelligence operation. Communications intelligence, COMINT, known as COMINT. Blanket coverage of all electronic communication in the U.S. and the world to ensure national security. The NSA at Fort Meade, Maryland, has had the most advanced computers in the world since the early 1960s. NSA technology is developed and implemented in secret and private corporations, academia, and the general public. Signals intelligence, SIGINT, known as SIGINT. The Signals Intelligence mission of the NSA has evolved into a program of decoding EMF waves in the environment for wirelessly tapping into computers and tracking persons with the electrical currents in their bodies. Signal intelligence is based on the fact that everything in the environment with an electric current in it has a magnetic flux around it which gives off EMF waves. The NSA/DoD has developed proprietary advanced digital equipment which can remotely analyze all objects, whether man-made or organic, that have electrical activity. Domestic intelligence, DOMINT, known as DOMINT or DOMINT. The NSA has records on all U.S. citizens. The NSA gathers information on U.S. citizens who might be of interest to any of the over 50,000 NSA agents, HUMINT, known as HUMINT. These agents are authorized by executive order to spy on anyone. The NSA has a permanent national security anti-terrorist surveillance network in place. This surveillance network is completely disguised and hidden from the public. Tracking individuals in the USA is easily and cost-effectively implemented with the NSA's electronic surveillance network. This network, DOMINT, D-O-M-I-N-T, covers the entire U.S., involves tens of thousands of NSA personnel, and tracks millions of persons simultaneously. Cost-effective implementation of operations is assured by NSA computer technology designed to minimize operations costs. NSA personnel serve in quasi-public positions in their communities and run cover businesses and legitimate businesses that can inform the intelligence community of persons they would want to track. NSA personnel in the community usually have cover identities such as social workers, lawyers, and business owners. Individual citizens occasionally targeted for surveillance by independently operating NSA personnel. NSA personnel can control the lives of hundreds of thousands of individuals in the U.S. by using the NSA's domestic intelligence network and cover businesses. The operations independently run by them can sometimes go beyond the bounds of law. Long-term control and sabotage of tens of thousands of unwitting citizens by NSA operatives is likely to happen. NSA DOMINT has the ability to covertly assassinate U.S. citizens or run covert psychological control operations to cause subjects to be diagnosed with ill mental health. NSA's domestic electronic surveillance network. As of the early 1960s, the most advanced computers in the world were at the NSA, Fort Meade. Research breakthroughs with these computers were kept for the NSA. At the present time, the NSA has nanotechnology computers that are 15 years ahead of present computer technology. The NSA obtains blanket coverage of information in the U.S. by using advanced computers that use artificial intelligence to screen all communications, irregardless of medium, for keywords that should be brought to the attention of NSA agents/cryptologists. These computers monitor all communications at the transmitting and receiving ends. This blanket coverage of the U.S. is a result of the NSA's Signals Intelligence (SIGINT) mission. The NSA's electronic surveillance network is based on a cellular arrangement of devices that can monitor the entire EMF spectrum. This equipment was developed, implemented, and kept secret in the same manner as other electronic warfare programs. With this technology, NSA personnel can non-obtrusively tap into any communication device in existence. This includes computers, telephones, radio, and video-based devices, printers, car electronics, and even the minute electrical fields in humans for tracking individuals. Signals intelligence remote computer tampering. The NSA keeps track of all PCs and other computers sold in the U.S. This is an integral part of the domestic intelligence network. The NSA's EMF equipment can tune in RF emissions with personal computer circuit boards while filtering out emissions from monitors and power supplies. The RF emission and PC circuit boards contains digital information in the PC. Coded RF waves from the NSA's equipment can resonate PC circuits and change data in the PCs. Thus, the NSA can gain wirelessly modem-style entry into any computer in the country for surveillance or anti-terrorist electronic warfare. Radio and television signals can be substituted at the receiving end with special EMF equipment. Replacing signals in radios and televisions is another outgrowth of the NSA's Signals Intelligence SIGINT mission. Detecting EMF fields in humans for surveillance. A subject's bioelectric field can be remotely detected, so subjects can be monitored anywhere they are. With special EMF equipment, NSA cryptologists can remotely read evoked potentials from EEGs. These can be decoded into a person's brain states and thoughts. The subject is then perfectly monitored from a distance. NSA personnel can dial up any individual in the country on the Signals Intelligence EMF scanning network, and the NSA's computers will then pinpoint and track that person 24 hours a day. The NSA can pick out and track anyone in the U.S. NSA Signals Intelligence use of EMF brain stimulation. NSA Signals Intelligence uses EMF brain stimulation for remote neuromonitoring (RNM) and electronic brain link (EBL). EMF brain stimulation has been in development since the MK Ultra program of the early 1950s, which included neurological research into radiation, non-ionizing EMF, and bioelectric research and development. The resulting secret technology is categorized at the National Security Archives as radiation intelligence, defined as information from unintentionally emanated electromagnetic waves in the environment, not including radioactivity or nuclear detonation. Signals Intelligence implemented and kept this technology secret in the same manner as other electronic warfare programs of the U.S. government. The NSA monitors available information about this technology and withholds scientific research from the public. There are also international intelligence agency agreements to keep this technology secret. The NSA has proprietary electronic equipment that analyzes electrical activity in humans from a distance. NSA computer-generated brain mapping can continuously monitor all the electrical activity in the brain continuously. The NSA Records Aid decodes individual brain maps of hundreds of thousands of persons for national security purposes. EMF brain stimulation is also secretly used by the military for brain-to-computer link in military fighter aircraft, for example. For electronic surveillance purposes, electrical activity in the speech center of the brain can be translated into the subject's verbal thoughts. RNM can send encoded signals to the brain's auditory cortex, thus allowing audio communication direct to the brain, bypassing the ears. NSA operatives can use this to covertly debilitate subjects by simulating auditory hallucinations, characteristic of paranoid schizophrenia. Without any contact with the subject, remote neuromonitoring can map out electrical activity from the visual cortex of a subject's brain and show images from the subject's brain on a video monitor. NSA operatives see what the surveillance subject's eyes are seeing. Visual memory can also be seen. RNM can send images direct to the visual cortex, bypassing the eyes and optic nerves. NSA operatives can use this to put images in a surveillance subject's brain while they are in REM sleep for brain programming purposes. Capabilities of NSA operatives using RNM, remote neuromonitoring. There has been a signals intelligence network in the U.S. since the 1940s. The NSA Fort Meade has in place a vast two-way wireless RNM system which is used to track subjects and non-invasively monitor audiovisual information in their brain. This is all done with no physical contact with the subject. RNM is the ultimate method of surveillance and domestic intelligence. Speech and 3D sound and subliminal audio can be sent to the auditory cortex of the subject's brain, bypassing the ears, and images can be sent into the visual cortex. RNM can alter a subject's perceptions, moods, and motor control. Speech cortex auditory cortex link. Speech cortex / auditory cortex link has become the ultimate communication system for the intelligence community. RNM allows for a complete audio-visual brain-to-brain link or brain-to-computer link. National Security Agency Signals Intelligence Electronic Brain Link Technology. NSA SIG-INT can remotely detect, identify, and monitor a person's bioelectrical fields. The NSA Signals Intelligence has the proprietary ability to remotely and non-invasively monitor information in the human brain by digitally decoding the evoked potentials in the 30 to 50 Hz, 0.5 milliwatt electromagnetic emissions from the brain. Neuronal activity in the brain creates a shifting electrical pattern that has a shifting magnetic flux. This magnetic flux puts out a constant 30 to 50 Hz, 0.5 milliwatt electromagnetic EMF wave. Contained in the electromagnetic emission from the brain are spikes and patterns called evoked potentials. Every thought, reaction, motor command, auditory event, and visual image in the brain has a corresponding evoked potential or set of evoked potentials. The EMF emission from the brain can be decoded into the current thoughts, images, and sounds in the subject's brain. NSA SIG-INT uses EMF transmitted brain stimulation as a communication system to transmit information as well as nervous system messages to intelligence agents and also to transmit to the brains of covert operation subjects on a non-perceptible level. EMF brain stimulation works by sending a complexly coded and pulsed electromagnetic signal to trigger evoked potentials events in the brain, thereby forming sound and visual images in the brain neural circuits. EMF brain stimulation can also change a person's brain states and affect motor control. Two-way electric brain link is done by remotely monitoring neural audio visual information while transmitting sound to the auditory cortex, bypassing the ears, and transmitting faint images to the visual cortex, bypassing the optic nerves and eyes. The images appear as floating 2D screens in the brain. Two-way electronic brain link has become the ultimate communication system for the CIA/NSA personnel. Remote neural monitoring, RNM, remotely monitoring bioelectric information in the human brain, has become the ultimate surveillance system. It is used by a limited number of agents in the U.S. intelligence community. RNM requires decoding the resonance frequency of each specific brain area. That frequency is then modulated in order to impose information in that specific brain area. The frequency to which the various brain areas respond varies from 3 Hz to 50 Hz. Only NSA Signals Intelligence modulates signals in this frequency band. This modulated information can be put into the brain at varying intensities, from subliminal to perceptible. Each person's brain has a unique set of bioelectric resonance/entrainment frequencies. Sending audio information to a person's brain at the frequency of another person's auditory cortex would result in that audio information not being perceived. The plaintiff learned of RNM by being in two-way RNM contact with the Kinecombe group, Kinecombe spelled Kinnecome, at the NSA, Fort Meade. They used RNM 3D sound direct to the brain to harass the plaintiff from October 1990 to May 1991. As of May 1991, they have had two-way RNM communications with the plaintiff and have used RNM to attempt to incapacitate the plaintiff and hinder the plaintiff from going to authorities about their activities against the plaintiff in the last 12 years. The Kinecombe group has about 100 persons working 24 hours a day at Fort Meade. They have also brain-tapped persons the plaintiff is in contact with to keep the plaintiff isolated. This is the first time ever that a private citizen has been harassed with R&M and has been able to bring a lawsuit against NSA personnel misusing this intelligence operations method. NSA techniques and resources. Remote monitoring / tracking of individuals in any location, inside any building, continuously anywhere in the country. A system for inexpensive implementation of these operations allows for thousands of persons in every community to be spied on constantly by the NSA. Remote R&M devices. A. NSA's R&M equipment remotely reads the evoked potentials, EEGs, of the human brain for tracking individuals and can send messages through the nervous system to affect their performance. B. Information missing from original. C. R&M can electronically identify individuals and track them anywhere in the U.S. This equipment is on a network and is used for domestic intelligence operations, government security, and military-based security, and in case of bioelectric warfare. Spotters and walk-bys in metropolitan areas. A. Tens of thousands of persons in each area working as spotters and neighborhood/business place spies, sometimes unwittingly, following and checking on subjects who have been identified for covert control by NSA personnel. B. Agents working out of offices can be in constant communication with spotters who are keeping track of the NSA's thousands of subjects in public. C. NSA agents in remote offices can instantly identify, using R&M, any individual spotted in public whom is in contact with surveillance subject. Chemicals and drugs into residential buildings with hidden NSA installed and maintained plastic plumbing lines. A. The NSA has kits for running lines into residential tap water and air ducts of subjects for the delivery of drugs, such as sleeping gas or brainwashing aiding drugs. This is an outgrowth of CIA pharmacology. Brief overview of proprietary U.S. intelligence / anti-terrorist equipment mentioned. Fixed network of special EMF equipment that can read EEGs in human brains and identify / track individuals by using digital computers. ESB, electrical stimulation to the brain via EMF signals from the NSA signals intelligence is used to control subjects. EMF equipment that gathers information from PC circuit boards by deciphering RF emissions, thereby gaining wireless modem-style entry into any personal computer in the country. All equipment hidden, all technology secret, all scientific research unreported, as in electronic warfare research. Not known to the public at all, yet complete and thorough implementation of this method of domestic intelligence has been in place since the early 1980s. Resources. These publications have only been discovered since December 1991, after plaintiff had already notified authorities, deputy of justice, etc., of public corruption by named NSA employees. When no action was taken against the NSA employees, I researched the intelligence community electronic surveillance technology involved and discovered the following publications. And it then lists all of the resources.